Hey flowers, it's your girl Reese LaFleur and I am back with another video. What's up y'all? How y'all doing? Or whatever. This is going to be my detailed tutorial on how to make a lace closure wig. I almost said frontal because I'm not used to buying closures. I actually bought a closure by mistake, but I was like, you know what? Let me just make the wig because I didn't want to go through the hassle of returning and all that. Whatever. So I've got a closure wig, and I didn't realize how many women actually still wear closure, so it's perfect. I'm gonna show you how I slay a closure wig. So if you're ready for another banger from your sis, okay, from your flower queen, all right, make sure you continue to watch. But first, I want you to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications so that anytime that I upload a video, you're notified. Thumbs up this video, comment down below, and make sure you share this video with your friends. Alright you guys, remember to bloom because the flowers are soul, blossoming in nature. Let's get right into this tutorial, sis. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is start with a mesh dome cap. I prefer mesh dome caps just because they are a little bit more airy. This is a closure. This closure is 10 inches, and I didn't say this in my intro, but this hair is from Tinashe Hair, and these bundles, 3 bundles in a closure, was $75, y'all. Talk about affordable, sis. I always got y'all with the deals, so I will leave everything down in the link below if you're interested in Tinashe Hair. Now, this is what we do first when you want to do a closure wig. You always want to sew down a closure wig first, because the closure down first, because you want to make sure that you have your spacing correct and you know exactly where the closure is going to lay. Excuse me. So what I'm doing now is I'm sewing really close together, and I pinned everything down around. I'm sewing really close together and grabbing the hair because you want this closure to be on it, sis. You want it to be on there, okay? On there. Once you're done with the closure, we're going to turn around the wig, and I'm just going to go ahead and I just showed the markings. I go back and forth with the hair. So the first track that I always sew, I sew on the bottom, but like literally on the bottom of the wig, and it lays closer to your beady beads, your little kitchen in the back. So if you were to put it in a ponytail in the back, you wouldn't see, you know, your natural hairs as much, if that makes sense. When you are sewing here in this area, make sure you do not sew through the elastic. There's mesh that is between the elastic and the track. Make sure you only sew through that mesh, because if you sew through the elastic, you risk the option of stopping the wig from stretching, and I hope that makes sense. So do not sew through the elastic band, only sew through the mesh part of it. And every time I get to each end of the line, I go ahead and wrap the thread around it like 4 or 5 times. If you're using really long thread, make sure you move slow when that comes to that part, because it's easy for it to get tangled. If you're new to this, just do shorter threads. Like don't over, you know, extend yourself. So of course I'm gonna do that again. I'm showing you just go back and forth. It's super easy. I should have drawn some lines on here for you guys, but I figured me just showing my finger would be easy enough. So I'm doing the next line. So after I went through 2 of the bundles, I got a 16-inch, 14-inch, and this is the 12-inch bundle. I'm going to show you guys how it comes, because I realized I never did that. So this is how it comes. It comes with instructions for on each bundle, and you know, like most bundles, it comes wrapped up with a rubber band and a little paper or whatever. So when you get to the top of the head, one thing that I do, I sew my tracks really close together. I really do like thicker hair. However, when I get to certain parts of the head, like where the crown is, like where I am now, I'll put like 2 or 3 tracks where they're like a little bit spaced apart, just because sometimes it looks too full, if that makes sense. So when I go to the next track, you'll see that you won't be able to see that space at all, because I'm gonna go back in very close. So now you won't be able to see the space that was at the bottom of that. And then once you keep going tight, it'll cover all the spaces. Like this wig has like no spaces in it. It's super tight. So honestly, this is just the game of literally just sewing back and forth. Like, it's very tedious, but that's pretty much it. So now that we're at the top of the head, once I get to the smallest oval that I can get, I cut the tracks, and then I start to go across just to make it lay flatter. This is my opinion, it lays flatter for me. So that's what you see me doing right now. I'm sewing those few tracks across. So I'm gonna actually switch the angle in a second so you guys can see it a little bit better, so you know exactly what I'm doing. But you're just gonna sew through the track on the end only, and sew underneath the track when you're in the center. And that'll also help you from not like ruining your wefts or helping from shedding. So now you can see the last track that I had there. So I'm just going in, you see I'm sewing through that piece right there, and I'm just pulling that through. And I don't know if you can tell the difference, but now I'm just sewing around it. You can see like it's easier for me to get through because I'm sewing around the weft. Once I've completed that last track, I pull all the hair back that is not in the that's not the closure, and I grab one last track, because what I do is I'm gonna go ahead and sew around that piece. This just makes it lay down more seamlessly, and it takes away if there are any bumps or if you didn't sew a piece down really tight on the side. This will cover that. So right now you can see I'm trying to get up close and personal with y'all or whatever. What is wrong with me? I'm just going to sew through, and I'm going to sew this track and the closure, the end of the closure, together, right? So it's going to lay flat, okay? Flat. That is the thing. You want these wigs to lay flat, okay? I cannot stress that enough. Flat lace mommy, okay? So I'm done. I'm just cutting that off. I did use 3.5 bundles. I had some hair left, but like I said, I do it really close. So now that I'm done, I pulled that off. Excuse the white. I have extra bleach on my wig head. I need a new wig head or wash my wig head. So now I'm just cutting off the extra mesh that's on the cap, and you're just going to do that, and this is how the inside looks now. So I put it back on the head so I could just see how it looks, just to make sure it fits right, because that head is like my head size, you know. So I went ahead and washed the hair because the curls were just too much for me. Like, they did those curls like that, and I was like, it just was too much. So I went ahead and washed it, co-washed it, and now I'm just cutting off the lace. This wig, I actually made it nice, a good like snug way. So like it's glueless. I don't need no glue, sis. That's the only thing like I kind of missed about closure wigs, is like you don't gotta use no glue for this. Like, if you do it right, it's just a snug. So I made a middle part, and I just kind of like put some mousse on it so it would lay down flat. And now I'm just putting on a headscarf because I want the top, the frontal, Lord, y'all, the closure to lay down. The curl is really pretty. It came back really fast, and that is how it looks. So now I'm just going in with some ColourPop concealer, and I'm just going to just like kind of like put a little dab and then just clear it out, and you know, make sure it doesn't look too crazy. And honestly, that's it. Like, this wig is laid. I wanted a length, that's why I got a 16 that was like a little bit natural but not too long, because I either do like a bob or I do like a really long wig. So that's why we picked this length, and that's the end of this tutorial, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to join the flower gang. See you guys in my next video.